Guys, let's get a round of applause. We bullied a billionaire. We bullied Dana White. No, why do I say that? Because the UFC 300 press conference was yesterday. And I'm just going to admit it. Very, very mid press conference. I was kind of disappointed. Not kind of, I was pretty disappointed. Like, I was going to make a full video going over every little thing that happened in the press conference, so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to sum it up real quick. Aljamain Sterling got applause for the first time in his entire career. Calvin Kattar was kind of just an NPC. Yuri Prohaska isn't beating the autism allegations. Rakic is the only person with common sense pointing out that Yuri Prohaska is over the age of 30 and is trying to cosplay as a samurai. I like Yuri. I've already made a video talking about how much I like Yuri. Doesn't change the fact that it's a little weird, but whatever. I like the guy. Alex Pereira was basically mewing the entire time. Jamal Hill is bringing up some good points, has a funny water bottle. Not gonna lie, like, I kind of like Jamal Hill. I think Jamal Hill's one of the most underrated fighters currently in the UFC. I've been saying that for a long time. I'm not switching my pick. I'm still picking Alex Pereira to win this fight. What else? Kayla Harrison is trying to do her best Ronda Rousey impersonation. Charles Oliveira was also there too. They asked him, hey, what do you think of... The reporters dropped the ball until the one reporter at the very end, and what made me want to make this video, brought up a boost in the 50K bonuses. He brought up a $50,000 needs to be bumped up a little bit. If you don't already know, they bumped up the $50,000 bonus all the way up. I believe it was either $75,000 or $100,000 for UFC Austin last year. And in my opinion, if we're adjusting for inflation, we should be getting paid more than 50K. Like, I think it should be $100,000 bare minimum, but I also believe that there should be a bonus for every single finish there is. It doesn't matter if it's a submission, it doesn't matter if it's a KO. If there is any type of finish, you should get $50,000 flat. You will get more finishes, and it makes it easier to judge, fight of the night, performance of the night. Everybody just gets a finish. Boom. That ONE FC does the thing. I agree with this. But Dana White starts asking the fighters, hey, do you think we should raise it? What should it be raised to? Justin Gaethje over here, the winner of the most fight of the night bonuses as consistently as you possibly could in his career. Somebody who will die for a $50,000 bonus, says $150,000. Triplet. Yeah, UFC 300. Triplet. That sounds fair to me. I don't know who said it. Somebody said 300. And Dana probably thought it was $300. And he didn't realize it was $300,000, which, understand, I'll point out when the UFC does something bad, but I'll point out when the UFC does something good. $300,000 for a UFC fight night, you might have just changed the entire course of the card. If somebody dies in the octagon, it's going to be on this event. $300,000, Dana? Dog, some fighters coming out... Dude, the Dagestani fighters are pissed that they missed this. They will break down into tears if they win $50,000. Because $50,000 in Dagestan, bro, you're buying all the goats. You're buying all the farmland. You have a different life now. $50,000 here? Cool. You can have a mid-range apartment. $300,000... Dude, Justin Gaethje's about to kill a man. Justin Gaethje might kill a man. What else happened at this press conference? You can tell Dana White is sick and tired of the UFC 300, bullying that he's been getting. And the reason that I'm bringing this up, dog, we have warned... Dude, you know how Dana White was talking about how he completely changed his, health around by listening to, some health guru? He started getting in the fasting, ice baths, and he does look pretty good now. And it added, 20 years to his life, apparently. Yeah, no, bro, we knocked another 5 off of there because of stress. You could tell, in the first minute of the press conference, and listen, it is mid outside of the beginning and the end. That is what I would recommend to you. And there's a little something that happened at the very end of the press conference that we're going to talk about. But first, Dana White is asked about some announcements that were kind of rumored after this press conference, and maybe it could happen. Let me tell you what those announcements were. Conor McGregor was going to face off Michael Chandler after the press conference on Thursday. It's Friday. Nothing happened. Michael Chandler's in Vegas right now. He probably thought that was going to happen because dude is going through the different types of depression. Okay? We're on denial at this point. Conor McGregor's probably chilling on some yacht somewhere doing CrossFit with the homeboys, and he doesn't really understand what's going on. And Dana opens it up with, like, don't believe anything that you hear. Like, it's not even don't believe everything. Don't believe anything you read on the internet. He is sick and tired of us as a fan base coming up with better storylines than Dana White is coming up with. There was also a rumor that the UFC was going to do, like, a new glove announcement. I talked about that on here on if that was possible. I thought, if it was legit, I thought they were going to do, like, Bud Light or Prime on the knuckles. Genuinely. That's what I thought they were going to do, or they were going to do custom gloves for the main event fighters. I would have loved that. I think you should be doing custom gloves. I think you should be doing custom swords for anybody who can make the main event. If you were a champion, you deserve custom swords. I don't understand how, respectfully, I don't understand how Zhang Wei Li gets custom swords, but Charles Oliveira doesn't. That's really strange to me. Same thing with Cody Garbrandt. I don't understand how Cody Garbrandt doesn't get custom swords. But again, I'm being picky. Yuri Prohaska samurai swords would go ridiculously hard. And it turns out that's not going to happen unless that's going to happen this Friday. I don't think they're going to do it a day before and nothing got leaked. Like, they were doing custom swords and that got leaked on the UFC store. Let's be real here. I don't think they're going to do different gloves. A reporter asked Dana White if the color of the octagon is going to change. That's a throwback to UFC 200 because they made the octagon yellow. Ugliest octagon I have ever seen. And he jokes around and says blue. There are actually some people on Twitter that are running with this and actually believe that the UFC octagon is going to be blue. And I'm not going to lie to you. At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised. I think Dana White, if we told him that we want the octagon fucking purple, he'll make that purple. Because I think he is just terrified that we made oil him up a trending thing on Twitter. We have the power to bully a billionaire, guys. Let's get a round of applause today. Now, we just need to use this power to get out of the Apex and make it so the only women's MMA fights that can ever headline any card is either a maybe Shevchenko on a UFC fight night or Joanna Jędrzejczyk if she comes back. Anything other than that, I'm sorry, that can't be. It shouldn't be a main event. It shouldn't. Let's bully him more next time. At the very end of the press conference, a lot of people are trolling him for this. I actually think that this was an overwhelming success. Joaquin Mansa Buckley makes an appearance at the end of the UFC 300 press conference, and I'm not gonna say begs. I'm not gonna say begs. He lobbies to be the main event of UFC St. Louis, his hometown, and to move Derek Lewis against whoever the fuck to the main event. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think he should do it. I think that's the move to make. Joaquin Buckley, and Dana, like, kind of just ghosted him, like, okay, goodbye, everybody. And you could see Jamal Hill laughing because, yeah, no, Buckley didn't get any answer. I think they should. Like, let's be real here. How many of you can name who Derek Lewis is fighting? Dude, I cover this sport for a living, and I have no clue who he's fighting. Like of course, like, I know of him, but, like, Romulus Despain has a bigger name than him. Mohammed Usman has a bigger name than him. Parker Porter. Yeah, Parker Porter has a bigger name than him. Derek Lewis doesn't want to fight 5 rounds. That he even says that. Yeah, Derek Lewis isn't going to fight 5 rounds. He wants to fight 1 round and then, in the second round, just go backstage. He doesn't want to fight 3. He doesn't even want to fight 3 rounds. Make Derek Lewis the co-main event and make Joaquin Buckley fight somebody. Like, let me tell you who you could put Joaquin Buckley against, and it makes perfect amount of sense. You could put Joaquin Buckley against Neil Magny. Understand, yeah, no, that's not the best That's not the best main event. That's the fight that he's lobbying for. I think in a rankings point of view, if you want to climb up the rank... Well, wait. Isn't Neil Magny actually beneath him? Okay, yeah, Neil Magny's beneath him. I don't know why he's calling him out then. Neil Magny, you know who else you could do? That could 100% be a main event of a UFC St. Louis? Michael Venom Page. Michael Venom Page, Kevin Holland. I don't think Kevin Holland's going to happen. I think Buckley said that he doesn't want to do a rematch with Holland because he tried to get a rematch before and he kind of just ghosted him. That's fair. So you got Neil Magny, you got MVP, Jeff Neal. Like, honestly, I think if the UFC doesn't make Joaquin Buckley the main event of UFC St. Louis, they might not fumble the entire card because, after all, it is Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis co-main event, do Joaquin Buckley against either MVP, Neil Magny, or Jeff Neal. That's a perfect main event. Like, Buckley will make it a fun fight. Can we agree with that? Even the fights that he lost against like a Nasruddin Imavov, fun fight. Chris Curtis, fun fight. Vincente Luque, fun fight. Even the Holland fight, people still make edits of it to this day because it's a fun fight. Buckley's going to give you a fun fight. Make him give you a fun 5-round main event against Michael Venom Page. Book it. I don't understand why this is so difficult. And here's the thing. Do you know how I know Buckley's kind of won here? Because we're talking about it. I'm not the only one bringing this up. He is on the Mac Life UFC 300 press conference video. Most people use Mac Life to watch the press conferences. You are probably going to see a video of this later today. Buckley might have just done a great promotion job. I'm going to give him credit for that. Yeah, no, Joaquin Buckley versus MVP for UFC St. Louis. Or Jeff Neal. Like, if he wants to go up in rankings, Jeff Neal. If he wants to have a super fun fight that's going to get him that stardom with a win, Michael Venom Page. That's what I think you should do. And overall, UFC 300 press conference was pretty mid, outside of us bullying Dana. And Jerry Prohaska ain't beating the autism allegations. And with that out of the way, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Adios.